It's the National Football League on EA Sports. We'll see the dynamic Justin Fields. There were no problems for him last week, going over 350 passing yards. It's the Seahawks and the Cardinals on Sunday night.
We are just south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin here alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Seahawks in this matchup. Their offense is one that doesn't rely too heavily on just one guy. They like to spread things around as best they can.
You're right about that. It's a diverse unit, and they like to run their offense by what they call game plan, meaning each and every week they study the opponent, they probe its weaknesses, and they move the ball around that way. They emphasize who's going to get it based on what they think they'll accomplish in that game. Other teams, they're a system team. They're going to run what they run no matter what. I like this style of offense. It suits them well.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Cardinals, and it is Kyler Murray from Oklahoma who leads him out.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
First play and a first pass for Murray. And a quick throw here, that's complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks, and made it difficult for the Steelers and 5 receivers down the hill. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And he has met half the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. To throw is Murray. Williams loses the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Now here are the Seahawks in great shape to start their first drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And some room to run now. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. Back to Walker on 1st down. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia. And the Seahawks are going to get the football back at their own 17. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
They showed off a nice juke of the defender, but the next wave there to bring him down. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
So the interception set up a terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They fumbled the last time they had the football. Fortunate that it only led to a field goal. 3-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. The numbers on the ground for Williams a week ago. 14 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, and here's Murray. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Now left side on the swing pass. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll bring up second down. Here's Murray. Open man left side. It's the tight end Trimble. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over to the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still first down.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there going to take this to about the 10-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with first and goal.
Williams is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. A 10-play drive that time. And it was capped off by a Javonte Williams touchdown. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. From the 6. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try for the first with Walker. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. 9 yards that time. The Seahawks at 10-1 now on the year. And they've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time.
And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. It's a big play there for Seattle. 55 yards. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they go to work on a first and goal. Now Jones. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Second and goal from inside the 5. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Jordan Akins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to move back in front. That's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, yeah, give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free. And his guy made a nice catch. Just had to draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Murray. That caught by Trimble. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. That's a staple in this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch. It's still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now Murray off play action. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And they're just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And taken right on the 30. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Back out now comes Kenneth Walker in the Seattle offense. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. He's got a man complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big pickup of 38.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practice.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic, and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collected victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. On play action, it's Murray. Can't get away, and he's taken down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the 1st down sack. Murray, catch is made by Marquise Brown. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Again, it's Jones. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in Week 2. And it was the visiting Seahawks who were victorious in that one. So they now look for the sweep here back home in Seattle. Play action. It's Fields. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. It got his man complete. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And this is more of the same right here. These guys have definitely been the aggressors here in the first half. They pushed the envelope in terms of play calls, and that's reflected in the score. And now they're in a position to widen this lead.
And to put a bow on it, Next Gen Stats saying that traveled an even 66 yards in the air. Up the middle, here's Walker. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, here's Walker. And they're able to stop him short. On 3rd and 6, they'll only pick up 4. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick to the area is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Murray.
And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down.
Murray now to throw.
There's Trimble, the tight end.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 44-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it.
Over the middle, complete into the hands of Trimble.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
And here comes a return for just beyond the goal line.
So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports halftime report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Dameon Pierce, 101 yards on the ground. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were winners in that one over the visiting New York Giants. Kareem Hunt, a touchdown run in the victory. And one final game to highlight. It's Monday Night Football, and they've got a good one this week between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Bucks. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Cardinals. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they had a little bit more success on the ground than their opponents did. And that should set them up well for the second half to come. Both these teams going through their final adjustments before heading back out of the locker room. Time for us to go back out to Lumen Field, where we rejoin Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter.
Third quarter begins with a run by Walker.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. From the gun, it's Walker. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it.
Now a hit and a loose football.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I'm kind of a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Out of the pistol, the give to Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Out of the gun, Walker with it.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8.
57 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
Here's Walker.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Jones will take this into the end zone for a Seahawk touchdown.
Always important to get the first score in the 2nd half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Elliott on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that winds up a 7-play drive in return. And it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the 2nd half.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now we give up the middle to Williams. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, and you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Pulled in at the 24. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
23 yards, the final tally.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he's going to be stopped up just short of the first down at the Cardinals 35. 72 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. And 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. Murray going to throw. And he comes back with one complete. They get 6. That'll leave it with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Murray now. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Kenneth Walker headed back out there. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
And this will be a Seahawks first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep.
Room here to run. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
Well, I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing the ball the standard way in this game. And here, this little tap pass, it goes for good yardage, a little something extra in his repertoire.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth and final quarter. They run again with Walker. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
The football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Moore. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Murray. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Murray.
Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 34-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Murray. Again, he finds more. And they'll work this down inside the 30. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painting the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing now is Murray. Flushed out right. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. That pass complete to Moore. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. From the 16, Murray escaping the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. Williams. And I don't think he got there, no. Too short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now Murray's got to have this one. And it's caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Tommy Trimble, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, it's Walker. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, then maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is brought in at the 21. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. The football going back over to Arizona now. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Murray's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. Murray now on 1st down. And his throw here is incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad.
They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw on 2nd and 6. Murray, it's caught on the right side. Williams. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 32-yard line. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Now Murray again. And that is incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here we go with Williams. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Play action. Now it's Murray. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
On 2nd and goal, Murray looking left side, and he's got a man. That's more.
This likely a must-have. 3rd and goal.
And that is caught by Brown for a Cardinal touchdown. 2 yards on the touchdown there.
And the Cardinals have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, Their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Back to the ground, this time with Jones.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. 102 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
So the victory here for Seattle. And we talked so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for the Seahawks, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, this season is beyond salvage now as they fall to 2-10. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants.